The slow reveal. Hey, everybody. Thanks for checking out my broadcast today. My name is Jonathan, and today is day 185 of my 3-year challenge that I put in front of myself to get my health and wellness under control. If it is your first time checking out a broadcast, a little bit about me is I'm 38 years old. I'm married, and we have children. Uh, I've been overweight as long as I can remember. I don't know that I've ever not been overweight my whole life. But in October of last year, I decided it was time to do something about it. I had dieted a lot. I mean, from the time I was 14 years old until now, I've been on all kinds of diets, every different type of diet. And I've had success with diets, but it's never been sustained, and it's never been, you know, it hasn't been. I always go back to my old ways, and I always gain weight, and that's what got me to 519.8 pounds in November. Um, so really wanting to succeed this time, there was a few different uh, kind of goals or things I set in front of myself, and the first one was to keep myself accountable. I know I've started many diets in the past, and if I never told anybody about it, then I usually wouldn't stick to it. In my head, that was a big gauge as whether or not I would tell my wife that I wanted to diet or not, because I knew the second I told her that I wanted to go on a diet, that she would be all in and she would push me, like what's happened. And uh, I suppose I let the fear of that and then disappointing her keep me from doing it. But so many times I wouldn't even say that I wanted to start a diet, and I'd try to go a day or so with eating less or doing something, and it would never last. So I figured, what better way to keep myself accountable than to start this live series and to broadcast my whether my successes or my failures, whatever happens, to get in front of the camera and talk about what's going on. Another reason I started this, or I set, the goals I set, was that I've always kind of set a realistic goal, and I've never set a goal that was actually like a healthy weight goal. And so anytime I really got to my goals in the past, usually 300 or 275, I was still fat at that point. And so it wasn't really like I had fixed the problems. And then I let my old ways of eating come back, and I got myself to where I got to. And then the last reasons to be a better father and a better husband, and just to improve my life overall. Big thing with the kids is they're getting older, and I can see they're wanting to be more active, and I'm just holding them back by being 520 pounds. So it was, with those things in mind, that I decided to start this channel and, this whole process. And so far, I've had great success. In the 6 months, I've lost 175 pounds. I started out with a 42-day water fast for 1,000 hours. I lost 90 pounds. After that, me and Carrie switched over to a whole food plant-based diet with no added salt, oil, or sugar. And we did that for a couple months. I did another 10-day water fast, lost a little bit more weight during that. And then after that 10-day fast, went back to the whole food plant-based diet without any added salt, oil, and sugar. And that's what's gotten me to the 175 pounds lost. I feel amazing. And every aspect of my life is getting better. And that is one of the big goals for my channel. So, but today is day 185. If anybody has any non-scale victories they'd like to put out there, I would love to see those. And then, how are your diets going? Are you succeeding with your diet? If you're not succeeding, what's holding you back? What's causing your problems? Are you waiting for something to get started? Why are you waiting? Like that thing you're waiting for. If it's a birthday party coming up or a holiday coming up that you're waiting for, what are you going to do next year when that comes up again? Like, so if you're waiting for it this year, are you going to stick to your diet for a year, or is it going to be a lifestyle choice? Or next year or the next time something comes up, are you going to just let your diet go and go back to the old ways? Or so um but yeah, Carrie's here saying late to the party today. Yeah, it sounds like there was a little bit of a delay with the kids getting home, but it's sounds like everything is on track with that now. I want to thank. So I had uh, talked about it on the stream here. I have an Instagram account at Fosting. It's right here in this little thing here. But I'm not very good at posting to it. I have another like personal Instagram account that I really haven't posted on. I think that uh, it was probably 4 years ago, 5 years ago, that I actually posted a photo on my personal Instagram. So it's not a platform I use a lot. And I was looking at things today and I realized that I hadn't posted any progress on Instagram in a while. So I posted my 175 pounds lost on my Instagram today, and it was really nice seeing the comments from people, and the heart emojis or whatever that they put on them. But the Instagram's a little bit weird because it has a mix of people that I know from my personal life, and then people that have found me through this stream or through Reddit or the other places that I've shared it. And that is uh, something that most of the comments, I think all of them actually, on the photo are from people who know me personally and don't know anything about this channel, probably, because I don't really post that photo. I think might have been the first time I actually had a picture of my YouTube, like, hey, go to this link if you want to watch me on YouTube. So it's interesting to put myself out there with people who know me, which is odd. I mean, obviously my immediate family knows, but like the people that I'm friends with on Facebook, most of them wouldn't know unless they're Instagram friends. And Instagram, I didn't really plan on it to be that way, that it was a mix, but Instagram linked my accounts together and suggested uh, my new Instagram to all my old friends, and my face was right there. And they're like, oh, I know that guy. And now they're like, why is this guy posting weight loss stuff? He was that fat kid I knew from college. So, and so it's a little different. But so yeah, I just want to thanks to everybody for the love on Instagram. It's great having comments and things like that. It's really motivating to see people know that it's pretty, there's a big difference between the two obviously. And then let's see what else I had here. And then for me, for my non-scale victories, so there's a couple of them that I was going to talk about. The first one, I think it's been a non-scale victory for me in the past, but I think that for the first few times that it comes up, it's going to be a non-scale victory for me, and that's clipping my toenails. It's been I've had variety, long periods of time where I just let my toenails grow because there wasn't really anything I could do about them. I have issues where I'm more flexible on one side than the other side of my body, so I can like pick my leg up easier and put it on my my knee one way than the other. And so I've had times where like I couldn't really do much, and I mean, I got to be honest. I've had Carrie cut my toenails before. It was maybe once, but it was something where I couldn't, a nail that was bugging me. I couldn't get an angle. And most of the time, I would say for the last few years, when I would cut my toenails, it would almost be blindly because I couldn't get the clipper and an angle on my toe at the same time and be able to see, because I had all that stomach in front of me and bending over was so tough. And Carrie says she's not very good at it. I'm sure it's not the most fun thing to do, and it's pretty embarrassing to, I suppose, admit that I had let myself get to that point. But it's the truth, and it's just, I mean, that's maybe why that's such a non-scale victory for me, is because of the embarrassment that I've had to go through with asking for help with it, and it wouldn't, I mean, it would, one of those things where I'm sure most people would let it get to the point where you really, it's really a problem before you ask. And I'm sure I was that same way. The other non-scale victory I had, and it's not, I have the Garmin watch that monitors my steps and my all kinds of stuff, heart rate, sleep, across the board. And I went to it a few times when I first started the fast, and kind of looking at the stress levels that it reads me as having. And I find that it always kind of puts me on a stress, because when I'm asleep, my heart rate is way lower than when I'm awake. And I don't know, I imagine that's normal, but it's quite a few beats less, over 10 less when I'm asleep versus awake. So the watch generally, or the system generally, tells me I've had a stressful day, even if I haven't done much. And I noticed yesterday, it might have been while I was streaming or shortly after I was streaming, I had looked at my wrist, and my heart rate monitor had my heart rate down. I think it was at like 60 or below 60, and that was really low for me for my heart rate. And so it got me thinking about going back and looking, and it wasn't, uh, there was not like a vast improvement when you look at the stress scales. I mean, maybe the stress scale from day one versus, yes, I'd have to look at that. Yeah. But at the bottom of it, they give you like a score. And most days, my thing says, you have had few restful moments in the day. Try to find an opportunity to slow down. And that's not the case, especially when I was fasting when I first started. And so, excuse me, it got me thinking, and I just went back and I looked at like the past week, and I've had a few days where it says that um my restful moments were enough. And that's that's nice to see that, I guess, and to not see that huge dramatic heartbeat difference, because it was a lot higher on average uh 6 months ago than it is now, when I first started that. So that would be another non-scale victory for me, since yesterday, or kind of since the thing. Tomorrow's going to be weigh-in Wednesday. I'm excited to get weighed in. I think I will have a weight loss. It's tough though, because we did get our Carrie did get some dehydrated mango, and I love that stuff. I really it kind of got a good sweetness to it, and a chewiness. And if you get a good piece, it's really good. The bag we got right now doesn't have a lot of great pieces in it, but we'll get to, you know, it's it's still good. I still enjoy it, and we we hit pretty hard in the bag yesterday. But it's nice that we can get a big bag of it from Costco too, because Carrie had bought a bag at like a grocery store, or a food market here, a fresh food market here, that it's like 6 ounces, or it's like half, it's not even a lot, maybe a pound, but it's like $7 for a small bag of it. And it gets pretty expensive. So we got to kind of be careful with that. And I think, I'm trying to think if we had anything. I think we had a dinner we've had before last night, but yeah. So the mango was great, and I'm looking forward to weigh in Wednesday tomorrow. The last night, and actually a little bit this morning, I took the time to watch a movie that uh, Carrie had actually already seen. And when I got to the end of the movie, I remembered what had happened was that it was Carrie watched the movie. It was called Plant Pure Nation, and you can watch it on YouTube for free on the what's the page? It's like a whole food YouTube page, and I can't think of it off the top of my head right now. It might be the I can look at my history real quick and see who had posted the video. Plant Based News has the Plant Pure Nation documentary on its YouTube if you wanted to watch it. I think it's an hour and a half long. Yeah, it's an hour and 40 minutes long. And it's a really neat documentary. Like I said, Carrie had started watching it when we first switched to a whole food plant based diet. I remember coming home and she was watching the end of it, and it kind of, I don't know, the end of it. Yeah, I remembered it after I saw the end, and I was like, oh, I remember. I came home and she had just finished this, or she was just finishing this movie. But it is the son of Dr. Campbell, who was in Kentucky, and he was trying to get the Kentucky legislature, or he worked to get the Kentucky legislature to recognize whole food plant based diet as the preferred diet for weight loss and health, or to promote weight health and longevity. And so it was really neat to see all the people that have had a positive effect by switching to this type of diet. And it's really tough too, because I know there's so many people that do a different diet than the whole food plant-based diet. And I've done a lot of those diets. And right now, for me, the whole food plant-based diet is really, it's above, and it's the way I feel right now, the amount of food that I get to eat and still feel this way is amazing. That's got to be the biggest thing that I can get across, is I'm not restricting the amount of food I eat. If I want to get seconds, I get seconds. If I want thirds, I get thirds. If I want to eat 4 pieces of Ezekiel bread, I'll do it. It's a lot of peanut butter, but it is, I don't feel bad about it. I don't, because I'm continuing to see great gains on the scale, and just in general. So, it's watching a movie like that. It's really just kind of continuing to solidify my resolve in this way of eating, in this way of life. I was talking to my buddy I had mentioned, and it's like I read these books and I see these movies, and it's every one of them, they have somebody in there or somebody quoted of saying, why didn't anybody tell me this sooner? and or why didn't anybody tell me this? And it's weird. People were probably telling us to, to switch to this or to do this, and I just dismissed them. I mean, the most recent is I have a brother who switched to a vegan diet, and right before I got into this and I was talking to him, I was like, I know I'm gonna fast. I have no idea what I'm gonna do when I get done fasting. And he's like, you should do a vegan diet. And I was like, there's no way I'm doing a vegan diet. You're crazy. And then I got researching, and he was talking about how he was happy with what he's doing. And uh, yeah, really it kind of evolved from me just saying, I'm gonna fast. I've done it in the past. I know I can fast, and this time I'm gonna come out of it with a plan that has and I'm gonna commit, and that that's what all of this was born from. And as I was researching while fasting is when I found out about the benefits of a whole food plant based diet. The True North Clinic out of Northern California is really what their patients were saying, or what the people were saying about how they felt. And just I started listening to that, and it snowballed. And it wasn't even until the end of November. I was probably still, I was within 2 weeks of finishing my fast, and I didn't know what I was gonna do. And I don't think I could have done. I mean, it's 175 pounds in 6 months is amazing. It's truly something that I don't know outside of like maybe the Biggest Loser show, where people, it's they got 100,000 or whatever they were gonna make on it on the line. Like there's for comparison, there's somebody, and a lot of people ask if I've ever watched him, and I absolutely have. It's the Fasting Fat Man. Big John is what he goes by. I was looking at his videos to try to compare where I'm at in 6 months versus where he was at after 6 months. And I gotta say, I'm pretty happy with where I'm at. The difference. So I fasted for a total of 52 days in that 180-day period. Fasted for 52 and ate a whole food plant-based diet for the remaining the remaining 128. And so he was almost the opposite of that. So he had fasted for 150 days, and then started refeeding. I believe he did keto coming out of his fast. And so I looked at like 30 days after he had finished his 150-day fast. And the difference between my weight and his weight, he had lost 40 or so more pounds than me. He's a little bit ambiguous about his start weight, but it's pretty close to my 520. I know he was bigger than 520 at some point, but from the start of his fast, it's kind of ambiguous as to what he was. But I know that at 180 days, he was about 308-ish pounds. So he had lost 40 more pounds than me in the 180 days, but he fasted for 98 days more than I did. And so for me, these results are great. Like, and it's a little bit skewed too. I'll just clear this up, I guess, with it. He had lost that weight in 150 days, but 30 days later was when he actually got to the same weight as when he finished. So from day 150, he started refeeding. He gained some weight from refeeding. And then at day 180, he was the same weight or close to the same weight as he was at day 150. So, and I've been trying to find, it's hard to find stuff on comparing to like bariatric surgery or gastric sleeve patients. A lot of it says percentages you should expect to lose 20 to 40%, or these different things within the first 6 months. but I'd have to actually go and look for specific examples of people to see how it compares to the gastric sleeve. But even if it's, obviously the fasting is, you know, was a huge chunk of my weight. I was 110 pounds of my weight loss has come from fasting so far. But the, um, but I, yeah, the time wise though, I've been eating way more than my fasting time. Like I kind of said before, it was 52 and 128. So yeah, I'm just extremely happy with how fast I've lost the weight. I don't know that I could have found a way to lose it faster, even if I would have been, I it's hard because I started out 100 pounds heavier. So I was 20% heavier than I was 8 years ago when I did a 600 calorie diet with phentermine and human growth hormone injections. Um, and I lost in 9 months, I lost like 130 pounds. So I did lose weight faster this time. By 9 months, who knows how much I'll weigh. If I could get, uh, that's 3 months from now. If I could get down to the 300, that would be, it'd be 15 pounds a month. That might be a little tough, but it'll be close. Uh, I would be almost the exact same weight that I was after 9 months on that diet versus 9 months on this diet. Uh, so yeah, like I said, I'm just singing praises about how much I like the whole food plant based diet, and I think you got to give it a chance. If you have, if you're sitting there saying I've done everything and nothing works, I've said that many times, and I didn't include a vegan. It's not vegan stuff. Vegan is not whole food plant based. Like the one of the quotes in the video, I think it was that Plant Pure Nation was something along the lines of eating things that don't have an ingredient list. Like my ingredient lists are, or the stuff we use to cook with doesn't have an ingredient list. Our meal has an ingredient list, but it's whole foods. It's not fractionated parts of those foods. So, so yeah, I'm a big fan of the diet. But let me see if I have anything else coming up, or if I have anything else on here. I really don't have anything else today. I'll be back on tomorrow. Like I said, it is weigh in Wednesday. I think I'll see a weight loss as long as I can push the mangoes away and not eat too many of them tonight. And hopefully we'll have a good dinner. I'm gonna try one of these days to just take photos of all the food I eat, and then I'll do like what I ate in a day, and pull it up, and so I can show. Because when I say I eat a lot of food, but without actually putting photos or showing you what I'm eating, it's tough to actually see that. Looks like we're having potato curry for dinner tonight, which sounds wonderful. We haven't had that for actually a little while, so that'll be good to have. It's gonna be a little bit different than the chilies we've been having the last few days. I like to give Carrie a hard time about our chilies. It's very much like there was something else we used to eat before that was always, it's kind of like Mexican food, right? It's the same 5 ingredients, just rolled up in a different way, one or fried one way. Call it chimichanga or burrito or a taco. It's all the same ingredients. That's kind of what a lot of our meals are, but it is a wide range of them. There are leftovers. I don't remember. We had something spicy yesterday, didn't we? Was that the stuff with the jalapenos in it? I'm trying. Yesterday's dinner was it was definitely a dry dinner compared to the potato curry. I do remember that was a big difference. But yeah, I'm gonna get out of here today. I already mentioned it, but there is my Instagram. I'm gonna try to post to that more. That's at Fasting. We had chickpea chowder. Oh my gosh, no. Okay, I remember why she was making that. Okay, Carrie made dinner. Yes, it was. The flavor was fine. There was nothing wrong with the food. Uh, but she like blended the chickpeas and she blended the other ingredients, and so it was. I don't even know how to describe the texture. I think that they did that to give it texture for some reason, but it was. And then there was also chunks of like whole pieces of chickpea or potato that weren't kind of mashed up. So I don't know. It's one of those things where maybe it would have been better if it was all mashed up, or uh, it was maybe it was like grits, like the texture. It was a little bit runnier than grits, but it was like little small um, pieces of food. That might be the closest thing I think. I've only had that like once or twice, so I could be remembering different as well. That was uh, yeah, yeah. Anyways, it's been a while. Uh it was gritty. Yes, it was gritty. All right, I'm out of here. If you enjoy these videos, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Click on the icon to get notifications when I go live, so you won't miss these live streams. Carrie says she's not likely to use the chickpea chowder recipe again. That's not surprising. Mentioned Instagram. The Discord's down below in the description. That link will be live for 1 week. You can hit me up later if you're watching this video and it's not live, or find a new video. But that link is down there. The Discord's great. You can get on, share what you got going on. Carrie shares these wonderful recipes. I don't think you'll see the chickpea chowder recipe on the Discord unless there's some major changes. But I'm going to get out of here. I want to thank all you guys for checking out my videos. It really helps. And I'm going to get out of here. Tomorrow, I'm going to weigh in and I'm going to lose weight. I'd love to hear how you guys are doing too. So make sure you check it out. Everybody have a great day.